So it may not be the biggest solar package on YouTube, but it's not the size of the solar package on the homestead. It's the power it puts out. Everybody, welcome back. Well, the wind has finally stopped here. Thank goodness. We've just been having crazy weather. Between 4.5 days of just non-stop insane wind. Last night we had a frost, got down to about 25 degrees, which is really abnormal for this time of year. But I'm finally getting to this one, the solar package. So let's dive into it. So this is our solar package. It's about as bare bones as you can really get for a solar package. But when we bought this, the intent was, to have something very movable, very portable, but also fit our power needs. So that's why we went as small as we did, and it's still working for us now. But 5 years in, a lot of the technologies have changed with solar since, just 5 years ago. When we initially bought this, solar panels were running almost $2 a watt for solar panels. Now you can get them for 65 cents a watt. So we've got 3 260 watt panels, and we'll go from the panels all the way through to power. So I also built this rack so it's adjustable for different times of the year, so you can get different angle on the sun with casters on it, so it's movable, so we can optimize as much sun against the panels as possible. And this is our battery box and power center. So let's see if I can get good light. So the panels come in to our breaker box right here. We got a shut off for the panels, and then a shut off to the charge controller. It comes into the charge controller, and this is a self-adjusting charge controller, so it can do 12, 24, or 48 volt systems, and it auto detects the voltage based on your battery bank. So right now we're kind of bouncing around we're a little low right now in all actuality. See if I can get in there close and see what we're doing here. Getting 92 volts in, 356 watts, which is really low for this time of day, ironically, and 24.4 volts at the battery. So that's probably putting us at about 50% capacity, which is not very good right now. But then that power goes in and pushes down to the batteries. And down here we have 4 6-volt 428 amp hour batteries ran in series for 24 volts, which is about 10.2 kilowatt hours on the battery bank. Come in and give you a different view of the batteries here. Let's see if we can get better light. Power comes in from there up to our inverter, which is a 3500 watt pure sine wave inverter. Let me get a different angle over here. And then that power goes out to our trailers, and it has seemed to do pretty well for us. But in the advent that we do get like cloudy days and things aren't running so well, we also have a 1000 watt 24 volt battery charger. And with that, if we do have those cloudy days, that's where we run this guy. Get my shadow out of there. This Predator 2000 watt inverter, inverter, it's a generator, whatever you want to call it. yeah, we'll use that to run our battery charger to keep our batteries topped off. I went with this generator, and I'll actually give a shout out to Wild Wonderful Off Grid on this one. It was their personal review of the Predator generator that spurred me to get this one. It's every bit the equivalent of Honda's EU 2200 at a fraction of the price. I'm not affiliated, I'm not associated, I'm not sponsored. I just really like this generator. I think it's a really good buy at 460 bucks for the power that it puts out. It has done anything and everything that we've needed it to do. Completely comparable to the Honda generator. It really is about as basic as a system that you can really get. I think total overall cost for our entire system, was it 40? I think it was 4,800. I'd have to go back through my paperwork, but it was right just under 5,000. And I mean, at that time, like I said, solar panels were running almost 200 watts, or $2 a watt for panels back then. And our 3 panels cost almost as much as the battery bank. So that was probably the biggest expense in the whole system, is typically your battery bank, but the panels were very, very comparable to that. So now that they're so cheap, we definitely need to add probably at least 6 more panels to the system, and our battery bank will never go below 20%, because in all reality, when you're discharging your batteries, you typically don't want to discharge more than 30%, because the deeper you discharge, the faster your batteries are going to essentially die. And then again, flooded lead acid batteries like we have, they typically only last 5 to 7 years anyway before they start to... Lost my whole train of thought. They typically only last 5 to 7 years anyway, and after that point, their capacity to hold power drastically drops. So that is our solar package in a nutshell. If you guys want to know more about it or have any questions, definitely leave some comments below. Or if you want me to go in a little more depth or detail about a component, definitely comment below again. And if you like this video, please smash that thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. I know everyone's supposed to say that. I think it's kind of a given, but I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.